rules before we get started. You are going to see you're getting a live behind-the-scenes look at a live audio recording process. We're going to join our on-air signal here in just a few minutes. I ask you that you turn your ringers off on your telephones because we are capturing the audio and video for this. We will again be live on the air. We're going to stream it live on our YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to see the edited video and audio here in just a few weeks. So let's keep things started. I'm going to introduce the MC for tonight. You know him as the host of Down Yonder on Saturdays. Please welcome Keith Dudding to the stage.
Hello, thank you for being here this evening. I'm not sure how long I'm supposed to talk because pretty soon we're going to go live, so we have to get the band out here. But you're about to see Julian Davis in The Situation. Two members of The Situation, I guess half of The Situation, play with the Silver Creek Bluegrass Band from Edwardsville, where I live. And they said, we've been playing with this guy. We're playing at Pop's Balloon. You see Julian Davis. He's from Kansas. You need to come see him. And I'm like, never did. I saw Facebook videos of him. I said, that guy can play. So eventually, I went up to a bluegrass festival in Minnesota, my native state, where they were playing. Finally, I had to go to Minnesota to meet him, and guy can play. So let's get him out here so they're ready to start when we're ready to go live here. Julian Davis in The Situation. And now we're in a holding pattern until we get the cue.
Before that, we heard Templeton Road with Birmingham from Oh Be Joyful, which came out in 2012. And I looked it up. They're going to be performing at Drumline Hall on April 15th. You're tuned to 81 KDHX. This is Tara, host at Wax Lyrical. And we're asking you to give us a call at 314-925-7514 or visit support.kdhx.org. Be like Scott from Columbia, Illinois, who joined the fan club online. Scott, thank you so much. We sure appreciate you, and we want to thank this next person coming up. But first, it's time for a quick promo spot, and then we are going to go live down to the stage at KDHX for our Listen Live performance. Stay tuned.
Okay, let's hold tight 1 second.
You know that KDHX exists because of donations you make. But did you know that your business or non-profit can donate too? When your business or non-profit supports KDHX programming, we make sure to announce it to the world. Learn more at underwriting.kdhx.org.
You are listening to Wax Lyrical here on 88.1 KDHX. For the next 20 minutes, we are turning it over to the first floor for a live set and interview with Julian Davis and The Situation, here to perform for our live audience and for you, our listeners, as part of Listen Live and local programming, made possible in part by KDHX donors and by the Urban Chestnut Brewing Company. So here we go. How's everybody doing down there at the stage? And now it's time for Listen Live and local with Julian Davis and The Situation, only right here on 88.1 KDHX.
Too crowded, I've been in town with too many people loose. I need a break for the rest of my days. Friends that I've met here, I could stand to lose. We're spinning out of control, passing through the hours, and I'm passing the days. I can't get some sleep, trying to say something to you, trying to save me. I wanna go somewhere lonely. I wanna be by myself. I wanna go somewhere lonely. I wanna be by myself. I'm sick of the games, and I don't feel the same as when I did when I came here. I'm a different man, and the dreams that I had, now they're all dead and buried. Might be the last time that I give it. I'm spinning out of control, passing through the yards, and I'm passing the days, and I'm trying to get some sleep, trying to say something to you, trying to save you. I wanna go somewhere lonely, I wanna be by myself. I wanna go somewhere lonely, I wanna be by myself. I'm spinning out of control, passing through the hours, and I'm passing the days, and I'm trying to get some sleep, trying to say something to you, trying to save you. I wanna go somewhere lonely, I wanna be by myself. I wanna go somewhere lonely, I wanna be by myself. Thank you.
Yeah. Julian Davis and the Situation. Good evening, Wax Lyrical listeners. Thank you for having us on the air. This is Keith Dudding, host of Down Yonder, Saturday mornings, do the Bluegrass Show. If you've listened to my program, you hear stuff like this right here. Julian, why don't you introduce us to the situation you got going on here before we get your origin story?
Well, the situation up here, we got Colin Graham down there from Illinois. Yeah, that's right.
He's picking the five, as they say.
What was that?
He's picking the five. He's on the
Yes.
banjo.
And we got Logan Perez on the upright bass. And Max Graham on the mandolin.
And Julian Davis on the guitar. Quick question. I've seen you play guitar. I've seen you play mandolin. Why in this band do you play guitar and not play mandolin? Because you're equally deadly on both instruments, my opinion.
I've never thought about that. I guess I could have.
Well, you could. I was just wondering if you made a
I
choice.
guess I. What? Okay, you can't. We don't give him a mic for a reason, but you know, I don't really know. That's a good question. I guess.
Well,
I
think
guess
about that.
I could
we'll
do
get back
that.
to it in the second set.
I guess I could do that.
Tell us how you come to bluegrass music and to be, standing here with this band on stage at the stage at KDHX.
How I came to bluegrass music.
Yeah.
Basically, I was a homeschool kid, online school, and I was browsing the internet one day, and I was really into rebel country. Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Here we are. And then all of a sudden, I saw a video of Tony Rice doing Freeborn Man, and my mind was blown. And I was like, all right, that's what we're doing now. And
Yeah.
then I found that it was much easier to do that in the area that I'm in than it is to play rebel country.
Right. Originally from Kansas?
Yes, southeastern Kansas.
Yeah. And so did you have, was it easy to find other people to play with? Was there a bluegrass scene there, or did you have to sort of make your own scene and find your own picking partners?
I guess when I said it was easier, I just mean like I just felt like I could accompany myself better because there was nobody. There was like one or two guys around
Yeah.
that area that kind of got me started, put the
Right.
training wheels on, and we're like, we have a guy down south. I hope he doesn't hear this, but he's like a what do you call it, a John Hartford lookalike, one of those John
Okay.
Hartford guys that taps and plays fiddle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And,
know what you mean.
He got me into I didn't even know what old time music was, and he taught me that, and showed me how to play some chords on the mandolin and all that.
Yeah, and that's how it started.
Yeah, basically.
Now, the first time I heard of you was when your bass player and your banjo player who play in the Silver Creek Bluegrass Band said they were playing with this guy from Kansas at Pop's Blue Moon. I should come see him. He's really good. I'd not heard of you before then, and they were right. You really are. When did you first start making the St. Louis connection and come to play Pops?
Man, you're really throwing the questions out there, aren't you, Keith? I feel like
this is Julian Davis. This is your life.
Well, I would say I met my manager,
Yeah.
Derek Weisbrod, and he was hosting a festival out down the highway.
Yeah.
Which I don't even remember the name of that one in
Right.
particular. Which
It has morphed into now the Pickin' on Picnic, which takes
it-
place the Lost Hills Lake
this
Resort.
was picking on the Codaway.
Okay.
And he hired me for the event, and then that kind of just like I slowly seeped from like the St. Clair area up to
all
like
the way up to St. Louis.
all the way up to St. Louis, and then before I knew it, I had a gig at Pops, Blue Moon, and then the Atomic Cowboy, and then
Yeah.
the Old Rock House, and so on.
This is before you had a situation, which
Yes,
you
this
have
was-
now.
This was basically just whoever wanted to hang out with me.
All right. We'll chat more after the next number. You want to give us another one right here?
I would love to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Julian Davis in The Situation.
Thank you. Holy Spirit, sing your tune. Come down so fast and love me true. Take my body, take my soul. Dear Jesus, make me love like you. Drifting cowboy, lost and ungrew. I live life so fast, but in search of truth. His grace protects me and washes me clean. Dear Lord Jesus, you are my King. At night I'd look at the stars, and I'd ask you, Lord, am I loved? But my conscience, how it divides me. Please take me back to my youth days. Holy Spirit, sing your tune. Come down so fast and love me true. Take my body, take my soul. Dear Jesus, make me love like you. Hear that banjo? Holy Spirit, sing your tune. Come down so fast me true. Take my body, take my soul. Dear Jesus, make me live like you. Dear Jesus, make me live like you.
Julian Davis in The Situation. If I may be so bold as to borrow from Oh Brother Where Art Thou, that's some mighty fine picking and singing, boys. An original. Both these so far, this has been your own
yes, they're
stuff.
both originals.
Lovely, lovely. The nice thing about picking music, bluegrass, old time, is that it's a very, there's a lot of cross-pollination and a lot of community about it. For folks who are enjoying this, you might want to know that Logan on the bass and Julian will be playing with C.J. Lewandowski. Tomorrow night, C.J. is of the Grammy-nominated Poe Ramblin' Boys at the Vintage Wine Bar down in Waterloo, Illinois. Which, have you played with Julian before, or is this just let's get together and make noise at the Vintage Wine Bar?
Oh, wait, me and CJ?
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I met him.
I tell you what, that means it's true.
Yes,
there you go.
it is
when
a
you
real
say I tell
story.
you what, that means it's true.
Before I knew the Poe Ramblin' Boys, I saw him at John Hartford Memorial Festival,
Yeah.
and Ryan stoned out, and I was like, I feel like I connect with these guys.
Yeah.
And,
The Jimmy Martin is strong with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I went up to him. We played a Southern Flavor, a Bill Monroe tune, and then we eventually just started crossing paths and all that. And I don't know how we became buddies necessarily,
Yeah.
but I think just through
Well, you clicked.
the connection of
Yeah.
like loving traditional bluegrass, basically. Yeah. And then this is going to be our first show together.
Yeah, so that's going on at the Vintage
Yeah.
Wine Bar down in Waterloo tomorrow night, and plenty more chances to see you because I look at the concert posters, and the nice thing is I see the size, the type getting a little bigger. It used to be like, headliner, second tier, third, and then at the bottom, Julian Davis Situation.
It's working
And now,
out.
gradually, the font size getting a little bigger, playing the Peaceful Bend Festival coming up in May, and of course, again, at the Pickin' on Picnic. And again, I say, I have an online calendar, so you can keep tracks when Julian and the Situation comes to town. You can always find it on the Yonder calendar. Have you recorded without Outfit? Are you trying to get in the studio? When are we going to have some studio product from you?
We're getting in the studio tomorrow, actually.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Max is finally getting to cut his mandolin parts, which
Okay.
have been long awaited. We've been sitting on 4 songs so far that are pretty much 90% done.
Right.
And then, it just takes getting the guys in the studio and all that. And one of our tracks, Somewhere Lonely, that first song we played, has Jason Carter, the Traveling McCurry's playing fiddle on it.
Nice.
Which is great. And then, we're gonna go record a new one. We were gonna play it today, but I just wasn't feeling like
Just
today
wasn't feeling it.
Wasn't feeling like today was the day because I knew I would mess up the lyrics on the air. And but it's gonna be the album or EP or whatever. We're still deciding if we want to. Yes. Yes. Good deal.
Okay.
All right. Yes, it's gonna be called "Boy I'm Lonesome."
All right.
Yeah, and you can get it out in May, I believe.
Okay, we'll be looking for it. Let's have one more for you. Thanks again, Wax Lyrical listeners, for letting us hijack the show. Here they are once again, Julian Davis and the Sitch. I'm calling you JD and the Sitch. Julian Davis and the Situation.
Works for us, Keith. On the eve of 1800, a city dressed in black. The morning of their fathers, the great general had passed. Catherine and Elias were in a boarding house on Greenwich Street, in the care of their cousin Elma Thane. A melancholy girl, some say she spoke of suicide. Pale, sickly thing who sought a better lot in life, until she was romanced by a young man down the hall. Oh, she caught the eye of Levi, and no one took the fall. Levi was a looker, working for a great man, and soon together every night they would spend. He asked for her hand, and Elma agreed. Miss Levi Weeks, she was never meant to be. bound for heaven, one's bound for hell. There she was lying in that old Manhattan well. They say her last breath was taken by a lover's hand. Somewhere at the bottom lies the soul of Elma Sands. Elma was dressed in her Sunday best, waiting on her loved one to come to call. What she wouldn't give, for sadly Elma wouldn't live to regret the man that she met just down the hall. If I was to take Elma away to be his bride, in a secret ceremony in the still of the night, Catherine heard her speaking with men outside the door. Assuming it was Levi, but she could not be sure. Now some say they saw Miss Elma living in a one-horse sleigh on city streets. They were blanketed with snow. North of Kodak Pond, she was escorted to a grave. Oh, they dumped her alive and they buried her in that hole. One's bound for heaven, one's bound for hell. There she was lying in that old Manhattan well. They say her last breath was taken by the devil's hand. Somewhere at the bottom lies the soul of Elma Sands. Elma's corpse was lifted, 10 days had passed by. Curious young boy had found the fur she wore that night. In those days, a horse-drawn sleighs were for the well-to-do. Now if it was Levi with Elma Lee, Levi was arrested, taken to his cell. He asked, was that girl found in that old Manhattan well? If the public had convicted, surely he would hang. Now what did drive young Levi this awful thing? Levi would forevermore maintain his innocence. His brother Ezra was connected and paid for his defense. Israel was his alibi, and money always talked. And with the help of Hamilton and Burr, Levi walks.
St. Louis artist Julian Davis and The Situation performing live from the stage at KDHX. Our thanks to them and to our MC and interviewer Keith Dudding and our live audience and the video crew and audio engineers John Bally and Joshua Melvin. Support for Listen Live and Local